Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, it may not be the holidays, but 2012 turns out to be an entire year for giving. We'll find out why. Plus, the Marcellus Shale Coalition's effort to make connections between the natural gas industry and smaller businesses throughout our region. But first, a winning year for our region. In 2011, Site Selection magazine ranked Pittsburgh in the top 3 nationally for business expansions and attractions, and #1 in the Northeast, outperforming regions much larger than ours. A week later, the Pittsburgh Regional Alliance partnership revealed its own analysis of regional economic development wins, a total of 286 across the 10 counties of southwestern Pennsylvania, and that's close to the level in 2008 before the Great Recession. Among the wins, an expansion by a fast-growing management and technology consulting firm, Plus Consulting. Steve Smith is the managing partner and co-founder of Plus, and Dewitt Peart is president of the PRA Partnership, which is an affiliate of the Allegheny Conference, which co-produces this program. Welcome. Good to see you both.
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, great deal. I'll start with you and a little bit of context on what we're seeing. I mean, we've been doing pretty well on these national rankings of business investment for several years now, but this is really a step up.
It surely is. 286 wins for 2011. Very good year for us. You know, when you compare it across the country, again, as you mentioned, we're 3rd in the country, #1 in the Northeast. So we've beat cities like New York City and Philadelphia, if you can imagine that, in terms of deals that have been done in the Pittsburgh region.
I was looking at some of the numbers, and what strikes you is that there's been growth, there's been investment pretty much across all the target sectors that we have in the
when you look at the numbers, about 82% of our wins last year were in our key sectors: advanced manufacturing, life sciences, information technologies, energy, and
financial services,
financial and
right?
business services, correct.
So, and you know, energy gets a lot of the attention these days,
Yes.
and rightly so, given what it's doing to the economy, and it does have a ripple effect in those other sectors.
It does. So, for example, there are companies that are in the financial and business services sector that support the energy sector. But when you look at the numbers again, about 1/3 of our wins were related to energy in general. Only half of those were in the natural gas. Everyone has the perception that it's all natural gas. It's not. It's across the entire energy space.
Pretty remarkable. We have here an example, though, of a company that is not energy related. We had to look to find one, maybe a little bit.
Right.
Well, for folks who don't know Plus Consulting, what do you guys do?
So we're a management technology consulting firm focusing in CRM, which is customer relationship management, which is basically a fancy word for sales and marketing technology. Business intelligence, there's a lot of acronyms in my world. Business intelligence, BI, stands for the idea of taking data out of disparate systems across your company, putting it into one place and giving the executive the ability to monitor and manage the health of their business in a bunch of key performance indicators, kind of that red light, yellow light, green light. What's the health of my business based on these KPIs? I see a problem, I dig into that in more detail. And the third primary area is the portal space. So basically websites on steroids, for lack of a better term.
Okay, I've been around for how long?
13 years.
Okay, here in the region the whole time?
Yeah, we started it back in 1999, headquartered in Pittsburgh. We've grown significantly across the country since then, with physical offices in New York, Boston, Scottsdale, and folks in about 10 other states in addition to that. But headquarters is Pittsburgh, has been always, and is growing here quite a bit. And
you turned out as a win because of what, expansion that's happening here?
Absolutely, an expansion that's happening here. And Steve's company, Plus Consulting, is a very special company. They're what we classify as an impact company. So through our analysis, we've been able to identify across Pennsylvania, less than 1% of the companies are creating 75% of the jobs. That's an impact company. Steve's company was identified as an impact company. So we can predict fairly closely what companies are most likely to grow, these impact companies. Okay. And so we've concentrated our efforts on those companies. Steve's company yes, growing, but growing consistently over the last 5 years. That's how we measure it. We look at the pattern of growth and the sustainability of that growth.
And so in the past year or so, how much expansion have you undergone?
Well, last year alone, we grew 35% top line revenue. We have had a pretty marked increase in growth since the beginning. There's about 60 employees at this point, and obviously a much larger geographic footprint than we originally did starting 13 years ago. The major expansion we're making in the local market is we got so many additional jobs being added that we've outgrown our space, and so instead of leasing, we're actually setting down permanent roots in Pittsburgh, and we've acquired a property in Carnegie that we're going to revitalize and move into this what we hope will be a pretty cool, edgy, urban industrial sort of vibe. And that's a big part of what's important to us as an organization, is to attract the right people and retain the right people. And Pittsburgh's been a great community for us in that we have universities and the large companies to be able to work with, but really most importantly, it's been an ability to find the right people on a consistent basis at a good cost of living sort of thing. We're fortunate that it's a pretty highly paid people in our industry, sometimes too highly paid, but joking aside, it's a great community to have a great quality of life based on the high incomes in our type of company. So we look really hard to hold on to those people. So the new building that we're moving into, or the old building that we're making new, if you will, has a basketball court, a full industrial kitchen with a chef coming in every week or every month for special team meetings and things of that nature. We've got a lounge area with people to be able to work and play a little bit on the bean bags as opposed to the typical structured corporate environment. Rooftop deck. I mean, those are the things that really create a unique culture, a unique environment that allow us to hold on to the most valuable asset we have, which is people.
That's fascinating. We only got 30 seconds left, Dee, but I do have to ask you, or mention at least better, congratulations to the PRA and everybody on your team who helped to facilitate the big announcement that we had from Shell last week about the cracker. I know this is just the first step of an ongoing process.
We continue to remind everyone there's much work to do, but the site has to be selected first. So if you don't have the site, you're out of the game. We're in the game. We're the only one in the game right now. But there's still a lot of work by a lot of people that need to get done.
Okay, so at some point it'll check the wins box, I'm sure. It could be a next year's report or whenever, but it's a big step for the region. I know the PRA working with the state, working with the client, working with Beaver County. It was a real team effort.
Real partnership. Yes, across the region.
All right. Well, congratulations, Steve Smith from Plus Consulting. Thanks for the update. Continued success.
Thanks for having us here.
All right. Next up, making a match between our region's growing natural gas industry and small and mid-sized suppliers. Stay with us.